Welcome to HDiD Park, Golf Club in Cheshire. I'm here in one of the teaching studios. We're up here for a couple of days working with some golfers, looking at the improvements that we can make. And one of the questions that has come up this month and the previous month, the depths of winter here, we're here in February. One of the questions that's come up a lot has been around the driver distance, and in particular feeling like players are losing distance off the tee. Now, generally speaking, this time of year, we've got very wet conditions and an unbelievably wet January. You're going to lose distance. It's pretty obvious that in very wet conditions we're not going to get the maximum amount of roll on the golf ball. In fact, we're going to get very little roll at all at this time of year. So understanding carry versus roll in your driver is really important for maximising your distance, not losing too much distance this time of year. And with the modern adjustable drivers, I'm going to show you a little trick here that can really help increase your carry distance a little bit in the winter without really paying the penalty of less roll, because nobody's getting any roll anyway. So I've got my I've got my 9.5 degree D2 and it's set to 9.5 degrees. This is a pretty standard setting for me. This is the driver that I use in play. Now this time of year on this setting at 9.5 degrees loft, that for me gives me the best opportunity to create some carry, but also without losing too much roll. And there's a very common misconception, I think, in players that if you use less loft in the driver, you'll automatically hit it further. And in the winter, that can really get you into a little bit of trouble. So contributing factors to increasing your carry distance. Number one, strike location on the club face. We've got to make sure that we hit the ball higher up the club face than the centre. So this is true of any time of year, but especially in the winter. If you're a player who hits the ball down low on the club face, because the face is curved, there's less loft at the bottom than there is at the top of the club face, and that low strike is going to give you a very low launch angle, which is really going to limit your carry. So the first job would be, we use our dry shampoo, we spray the face, and we have a look at the strike location. So having done that, the second thing that influences launch is loft on the club. So if you've got an adjustable driver, what I would do at this time of year, and this is something that I'm doing currently, is I'm adding a little bit of loft to my driver. So I'm going up a setting on this. I can change this in 3/4 of a degree increments, and I'm going to add exactly that, 3/4 of a degree, which takes this driver from 9.5 up to 10.25. Now, something to be aware of, and a lot of drivers, if you add loft, you potentially can change, by changing the lie angle, you can change the face orientation. So if you add loft to a driver, a couple of clicks there, if you add loft to a driver, you can also bring the face a little bit more closed. So I've added a bit of loft and increased the open setting by 1 as well. Hopefully those two things will cancel each other out. So there's the tool back on the ground. By adding a little bit of loft, I'm making it much easier to influence my launch angle. Loft on the club is the simplest way to increase your launch angle. If you increase your launch angle, you potentially create more carry. There is a downside to more loft, and that's potentially more spin. And more backspin is certainly you're going to suffer a loss of roll from that situation, but also into the wind, you can really struggle with getting the ball to stay in the air for very long. So as we've increased the loft, we've managed our strike location. The third thing, and the reason behind these cones here, is we just need to make sure that our impact position is working well. So what I'm looking for is a slight upward strike. I need to hit this ball at least a couple of degrees on the up. Got flight scope here to help me manage that, so a club fitting or a flight scope check with your local coach pro who uses this technology would be very advisable as you're doing this. Just check that we're not hitting down on the ball, because hitting down with more loft potentially will increase your spin rate quite dramatically. So we've got more loft, we're going to hit slightly up, and I've got a cone here just in front of the ball, and I'm going to just rehearse swinging up and above that cone a couple of times. I've got a cone just outside the ball here, and that's going to help me feel like I'm swinging from the inside and up. And those factors combine, if I get all three of those combining well, I'm really going to increase my carry distance, or have the opportunity to increase my carry distance. So here we go, a bit more loft. We're going to hit out and up, try and miss those cones. and manage the strike. And that's a pretty decent looking ball flight there. We have a high draw, we missed both the cones. We got a strike location that was a good 2/3 of the way up. Nice high draw ball flight, I'm pretty happy with that. So increase your carry, use the technology available. In the winter we can always change it back in the summer. Give yourself a little bit more loft, increase the launch angle, and work at those couple of adjustments through your swing path at impact, and really help you drive the ball a lot longer this winter. Thanks for watching the How Did I Do Golf Academy. If you enjoy our videos, please share them amongst your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, that way you'll get to see all our latest footage first. And for questions and comments, join our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter, HDiD Golf Academy. We look forward to seeing you next time.